Hi, this is Scott Cutland with InReach Foundation and Climb for Community. Today we're going to go over an Everest climb expedition gear list, and we're just going to jump right into it. It can be very overwhelming to think about how much gear you have to bring, what's the right gear. Ultimately, you have to bring what works for you, but there are clearly items that you just simply need to have a successful climb. So here we go. We'll just start over here with some headwear. You definitely want a nice beanie, wool beanie to keep that head warm. You know, most of the heat exits your head, so keep warm there. I actually have two of them here, deciding on which one I want to bring. So that's those. Here's a nice, very light wool balaclava, just to kind of help moisture and keep things a little bit cooler. One of my favorites is a very thin wool hat. You can wear these even on the hot days and just kind of help with the temperature control. These work great. And today, especially today, we're living in the days of COVID-19. So Nepal is very dusty and dry. And so again, with COVID-19, you want to have some buffs just for face protection against the sun, against the weather. I bring several of them. I'll probably cut it down to 3 on the mountain. Get yourself a good headlamp. One of the things to realize about headlamps, and boy, I've been through a lot of these, and they just simply, a lot of them don't work. In those extreme cold conditions, typically battery lives and lumens will be cut down probably up to 50%. So make sure you have a nice bright headlamp and one that's going to handle the weather. Goggles, good goggles. I have these from Jobo. They're a Cat 4. They work great. In fact, if you check this out, we all know that goggles are notorious for fogging. These are super cool. The lens pops out so you can vent them. Really cool. Work well. Several pair of glasses. These are high mountain Cat 4s. Real nice to help from sun blindness. These are Jobo Cat 4s, a little bit lighter lens. So some of the darker days and when the light changes a little bit, these are really great. And then I actually bring another pair of Jobos. These are, I believe, Cat 3 for lower mountain, just hanging out. And if you just kind of a mellow day of hiking and climbing, those are nice to wear as well. Moving on, you of course have to have good underwear. I've kind of been stuck on these ex-aficionados, or however you say them, for several years. They just, they wick well, they wear well. They're a little bit longer, so you don't get any chafing or anything. Something new I'm bringing on this trip is a pillowcase. I have a real hard time sleeping in tents. So living at base camp, I want to get as much sleep as possible, recovery. So I'm bringing a pillowcase, and I'm simply going to stuff it with jackets and shirts and pants, whatever, and hopefully get a better night's sleep. This is a quick dry towel. There are showers out there, so whether you're coming up into tea houses or at base camp, there are opportunities to get a quick shower in. So this is a bit of a luxury. Notorious pee bag / bottle. I like these guys, other than the fact that these seams can rip and break, which turns into not such a pleasant experience. So I'll tape these seams up with duct tape just for some extra protection. But this is real nice, 96 ounces, folds flat, easy to pack down in your pack. Base camp and sleeping socks. I like a nice heavy pair of wool socks. They're also a backup for any climbing days. But it's kind of nice to have a fresh pair of socks on, living in a tent and sleeping. Back to sleeping, I wear a smart wool shirt here, base layer with a hood. This is really what I'll sleep in every single night. So it adds a nice layer of warmth, and you can zip it down to get it cooled out, but kind of nice just to have a dedicated shirt to sleep in at base camp. Mount Everest, folks, you're living at base camp. You can bring some luxuries. You can bring some jeans, cotton shirt. Just nice to get out of the synthetics while you're sitting there at base camp, practicing whatever. Get out of those synthetics and climbing clothes. And I bring a dedicated pair of just cotton pants to sleep in as well. Alrighty, moving on up to upper layers. I'll just bring 3 base layers for up top. This is just a nice Arc'teryx wool base layer. This is my go-to. Has a zipper, so you get a lot of good temperature control out of it. So I really like this one. On the way up to base camp, I will probably just be wearing t-shirts most of the time. So I like just a simple short sleeve, tight base layer. And then of course, getting up higher, it's colder. So you want something thicker, tight, wicks, real good temperature control on this. I really don't look for anything that zips up high. There's so much other control mechanisms, and I've never had to unzip up top like that. So again, moving from Lukla up to base camp, will be pretty warm. I'll bring 3 t-shirts. I haven't narrowed that down yet, but I'll be hiking primarily in t-shirts. Even if I have jackets on, I'll have a t-shirt on. It'd be nice to wear a t-shirt in the tea houses, and it does actually get quite warm out there sometimes. So great to have a wool t-shirt, something that's not going to hold any of the smell. It's going to wick and it dries real quick. Great to hike in. Thing that's you're going to want, that I've grown to love, is a sun-rated hoodie. Hiking up, when it's hot out, you still need to protect your skin. It's very important. This cuts down the wind. It reflects the sun, gets the sun out of you so you don't get burnt. That will ruin a trip. And super light and packs down great. Next layer is this Arc'teryx full zip. This is nice for a medium to cold day. Lots of temperature control. I will wear these on acclimating hikes. I won't wear these on actual climb days, but this is kind of my backup for getting out there and just having fun out there on the mountain. This is a piece that may stay in Kathmandu. I'm not sure yet, but this is one of my favorite day hiking pieces. It wicks real well. It's just the North Face, has a nice zipper on there, but it's comfortable. It wicks. It keeps cool and dry no matter what condition. Has some panels on here to kind of get out the heat. So this has worked real well for several years. And then the go-to for me is the Patagonia R1. Highly recommend this piece. It has a nice long zipper, a lot of temperature control. It's the waffle fleece in here with a hood. You definitely want the hood on it, but it goes all the way down over your hands. I will wear this really every day from base camp up, and I'll wear this a lot at base camp. This is a great piece of clothing. Moving on down to bottoms. So hiking up, you're going to be in a light pants, but I still like to have a tight on and something to wick any potential moisture, or really just keep me going. I personally, I mean, you can certainly go in the quick dry pants, but I like having a tight on. This is an Under Armour. It's just to get the heat out, so it's I think it's called Cool or something like that. And then my first really warmth of bottom base layers is just this Eddie Bauer. It's a really lightweight wool, so it will keep you warmer. Wicks great, super comfortable, packs down easy, light. It's like you don't even have it, so that will keep you a little bit warmer. And then for me, my legs run hot. I run a little bit warm, so I don't have super heavy base layers, but I do wear this Odlo on super cold days. They're nice and tight. They keep you warm in the super cold conditions, and again, they pack down real nice and easy. So pants, moving on to pants. So I have these Arc'teryx super lightweight, but they are reinforced in the knees, so and in the back, so you know you can rock climb in these. They hold up great. Super light, pack down easy. I've lived in these for a month at a time, and there's just no stopping them, so they're great. I'm undecided if I'm going to bring these up on the mountain, but I'm thinking I can do some of the rotations from Everest Base Camp up to Camp 1, Camp 2, etc. To keep my actual climbing pants maybe a little bit better. I have them waterproofed and just make sure they stay that way. But these are climbing pants I love. Red Fox. A lot of you folks that have climbed up in Russia, Red Fox, but they're all reinforced. These are my favorite actual climbing pants, but they work great in a expedition case as well. And then my go-to soft shell lined hiking pants and climbing pants are these Arc'teryx. They have a nice zipper on the bottom here, so they flare out, so you can get them over boots, whatnot. They're also reinforced. If you're not wearing anything else, if you get a cramp on in there or something. But these are definitely my go-to on the colder days and bigger days in climbing. Alrighty. Hand protection. There's never too much hand protection. And one of the things I find is you have to try different combinations. It's super, super important. I always recommend starting off with a nice, super lightweight silk glove. They weigh nothing, they wick, they keep your hands out of the conditions. Some people would just call them a 60-second glove, but 100% silk work great. On Everest, I'm bringing 2 pairs. One is they take up no weight, no room. And what happens is if you're using them a lot, they will get holes in them. So I'm having a backup pair for redundancy. My next one is a 100% smart wool glove. These are great just simply for keeping your hands warm on cold days. So I will use these before I put on other gloves. And they're dexterous, so you can grab things and get things done. Next is these North Face gloves. They're an E-tip glove. I've been wearing these for years. I can wear these no matter what I'm doing. I like just to hike in them, have some hand protection, and they're lightweight. They breathe well. So these are my go-to. The workhorse for this climb will be the Black Diamond Guide Glove. These things are tried and true. You got great leather protection here. They work really well with the carabiners and ascenders and whatnot. And you'll also notice there is a wool insert here. Now I have had problems with this getting back into the glove sometimes, but that's where laying your glove system can come in really handy. And then I have expedition mitts that we'll go over in another video. Socks. Socks are crucial. First, you want to have socks to wear around town and whatnot, something light, wool that will still wick. I've become a huge fan of the 5-finger toe liner socks. So I wear these just about every hike, and knock on wood, I have not had a single blister or really even a hot spot since I've been wearing these liners. So it's a go-to for me. Going to Everest Base Camp and light days, I typically will do a calve over, like a ski sock. It's a longer sock. Some of them will have the built-in compression around the calf. That's just nice when you're working hard. And then I'll have a little bit heavier wool, but not too heavy. It's just a mid-weight wool sock in case the weather drops, and of course for redundancy as a backup pair in the pack. So this is my backup pair. Then when you're moving up, of course, after base camp, and you start getting the colder or heavier days when you're wearing your 8,000 meter boots, you want to have a little bit thicker sock. I have a variety of socks, but they're all over the calf, pretty tight, in different thicknesses. I've grown to really like these darn tough Summit socks for Summit Day, and I have a new pair that I really like as well, as Smart Wool, that these are a little bit heavier, a little bit looser, but they do a real nice job in the cold weather. Super nice. All right, moving on. Some essentials, keeping yourself energized, electrolytes, on the go. I'm a Cliff Block guy. I don't like the goos or gels. They're just too messy. These you can throw in your pocket or the side of your pack, grab one on the go, and it actually keeps your mind stimulated a little bit as you're hiking as well. And then for water treatment, I go with the Noon tablets. Typically I do 2 tablets in each liter, and that's sufficient for electrolytes and a little bit of caffeine, just keep you on a move. And I typically carry 2 liters with me. This is toiletry bag. Obviously you're gonna know best what you want from toiletries, but don't forget the sunscreen, lip balm, of course your medication, high altitude medicine, things like that. I also carry an extensive first aid kit. I'm just always prepared, and I think everybody should be, because you never know what's going to happen. And when a fellow climber gets hurt or is in a medical situation, clearly we want to be able to help them out. So Everest, since it's such a long expedition, I have a pack of backups for either meds or really anything that would feed my toiletry bag or first aid kit. So this whole entire pack is just redundancy in the toiletry and medical care. And then of course maybe bring some cards, pens, books, things like that for base camp. Keep yourself stimulated and away from boredom a little bit. To keep your electronics charged, sun power is the way to do it. I like this Anchor. It's a 3-panel solar system. I've had it on multiple expeditions and it's never failed. So Anchor, super great. I will be bringing 2 batteries. Again, redundancy. If one fails, I want to have a second one there. It's a trip of a lifetime. We don't want to lose the opportunity to take photos or charge a phone or be in contact with your loved ones if that happens. All right, so electronics. Kindle, reading. I read more on a mountain than anywhere else in my life, so it's really the only reason I picked this thing up. It's great to read in a tent, and it works well. Capturing everything. I use the GoPro 6 and the GoPro 360 Max. Unique trip for me. I will be shooting a lot of film in the 360 Max. We'll be feeding this film into some really cool virtual reality segments for our company and a project through InReach Foundation. And so this is going to be the life of that opportunity. Really cool. And of course this is good for wide angle photos. Video's okay, but this will be mostly for photos. Most video up here. I may take some linear footage as well with that. I'm a Suunto guy for the watch. I just like the user. I like the usability of it. I think it's accurate. This is the Suunto the Borrow 9. It's a newer one. I've been testing it out for about 6 months, actually about a year, and I love it. It's great. It's very accurate. Battery life is amazing, and it's really simple to use. And then of course, safety. So this is a Garmin InReach Explorer Plus. This is a way to track your hike and your climb. This is a way to keep in contact with people. You can share maps on Facebook, just super great. So it works Iridium satellite, and yeah, it's just a subscription service, works great. These are some noise canceling headphones for the plane. So you can kind of tune out and listen to what you want. Great to have, highly recommend. This bag is simply electronic cables, charging cables, etc. The other cool thing on this trip, we will be shooting some marketing material for our line of coffee, 7 Summit House Coffee and Tea. The cool thing about this is we were supposed to do Everest last year and launch this, so things changed. So we'll be out there now in 2021, and in 2020 we built great relationships over the year, and we're going to take this into the Sherpas villages and just share coffee and conversation and meet them, find out who they are, and so this is going to be awesome. The last thing I'm going to show you on this video is the Sea to Summit wallet. I'm not really sure what they call it. It is amazing. It's been all over the world with me. But it's a great way to carry your passport, and different travel documents. And it's waterproof. It's also, can't pick it. It's the RFID, so no one can scan off this. So great thing there. So hopefully this was educational, and you learned some things, and you're getting some ideas for your climb, because it's really hard to figure out what to bring. And when you think you have it all, maybe you miss something. Or on the other end of the spectrum, you're just bringing way too much stuff. So we're going to do another video that goes over jackets, bottoms, more high altitude things, and of course like your ice axe and boots and things like that, footwear. Thanks guys.